Hello, welcome to this very special edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace reporting live here in downtown Pittsburgh for this year's 14th Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival. One of the headlining acts this year is a young vocalist who's been taking New York City as well as the world by storm. Vanisha Gould has really tapped into really the great ancestors, as well as she's a very, very prolific songwriter in her own right. She has a brand new record that's coming out. She's Not Shiny, She's Not Smooth, coming out later this fall. And tonight here on the Pace Report, you're gonna see highlights of her performing selections from this brand new record. Now, I had a chance to sit down and break bread with her on the jazz train coming up to Pittsburgh, as well as here, and we talked about some of her musical influences, as well as we sit down and we talk about the new record, and we talk about what motivates her to write and also motivates her to shed as far as her vocal ability. So sit back, relax, and enjoy highlights of Miss Vanisha Gould performing music from her upcoming record, live here on the Pace Report from this year's 2024 Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival here in downtown Pittsburgh.
By those gazelles and every single beast of the field, do not excite love, don't you stir it up until it's so desires. Why? For love is as strong as death. Its jealousy unyielding as the grave. It burns like a blazing fire, like a mighty, mighty flame. And so many waters cannot quench love, and rivers cannot sweep it away. And if one were to give all the wealth of one's home for love, you'd be utterly scorned. You'd be utterly scorned. All that's saying is, you cannot buy love. You cannot force it to stay. It expands and moves in every which way. Desires do not excite love. Don't stir it up. Do not excite love. Don't you dare stir it up. Thank you.
She's Not Shiny, She's Not Smooth is the new record, and the last record was just you and your accompanist. And there were a couple of songs with the viola.
Yes.
How is this album different versus this last record?
Well, this one has all of my originals. The last album had mostly standards. I did one tune by McCoy Tyner, where I wrote the lyrics to it, Aisha, and then another original of mine called Fall in Love with Me and Fall, where it's She's Not Shiny, She's Not Smooth, all of my tunes. So there's no viola, but it's my full band finally I have an album with my full band. So you get to hear, also I did a tune from my first album, Lucy Aguirre, in her words, Cute Boy. So I'm reimagining it with the full band for this album. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, so yeah, I'm excited. That's going to be out in November.
Preparing for the record, and actually now you're performing the music now, are you more comfortable with the process of performing it as opposed to before you were recording the product and then just kind of like, okay, we can tinker this out a little bit? How have you kind of made this work?
Well, it's funny because all of these tunes, I've been playing them for like a long time. So if you come to my shows regularly in New York, you've heard these tunes before. It's finally just being spread out around the world now via Spotify and Tidal and, you know, all these different platforms. Finally, it's out of New York and outside of the one-off festivals I do. If you ever have streamed me performing at Mesro, all of these tunes are familiar. So before we got into the actual studio, that's what made me really confident, is we've been playing this music so much every damn day that, again, like I said, no charts necessary. We can really look at the details, different arrangements, you know, tinker on, you know, what the intro should be, you know, what the form should be, who should solo where. We can finally pay attention to that rather than learning the music. We had done that for years already with all these tunes. So, I'm excited.
Vanisha, just leading a band and being a woman leading a band, you've got to take care of arrangements.
Yep.
You have to take care of travel expenses.
Yep.
You have to take care of basically the logistics of running a band.
Yep.
How did you come into that role?
It starts off with when you get the gig. Well, when you first move to New York, you do the emails, right? Hey, here's a recording of me playing this song, I would love the opportunity. Before you get the gig, you're doing that. Then you get the gig and you gotta figure out who's gonna play on it, right? Then you gotta navigate the rehearsal. Who's not too busy to do a free rehearsal? Okay, cool. How do I make the rehearsal as efficient as possible so that if they are busy, they can leave and go do what they need to do? Who lives close to me? You know, everybody in my band has always lived on my block. That's, thank you, God. So it starts there. I've been saying recently, man, give me 2 more decades and I can move to New Hampshire and do tour managing in my home, you know? So from that, from just organizing rehearsal to making sure that when you get the gig booked, the food is taken care of for the band. How many drinks do they get? Is it plus tips or is it from the door? All that info is before they say yes. That's in the text or the email that I sent to the band. And then if another huge thing with navigating this world that I recently had to have to deal with is like I told you, I'm pretty glued to my band, but sometimes they're out of town. And sometimes they can't make the gig. So I'm like, well, okay, then I have to make sure that my favorite musicians know my music so that when Chris is out of town, I can call A, B, C, D, you know, all top tier musicians that know my music, where I can do one rehearsal and not deal with that again. And then you talk about being a woman in this. I think this is the one place, and I don't know how accurate that is for other women. I'm not speaking for all women. I just know that for me, as a black woman in the jazz scene, this is the one place I have privilege. You know, if you're swinging and you're good, people can't say shit. If you're booking the gig, they can't say shit. They say yes or no to the gig. I get the gig booked.
That's good.
I get the gig booked, you know, so I mean, you can give me a side eye or you can vibe me, that's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, when I'm talking to a booker, they're emailing me. And I don't know if there's too many departments in the world where that's a thing, you know. I think there's just a really huge amount of respect for us as, you know, in our community. If you're just good, you're good. Like, there's no way around that, I think. New York is the same. I'm like, New York treats you well if you're swinging.
Don't worry about me. Karma has a fine way of finding wrongdoings. I fear she won't be fair to you. I don't care. See, you'll never be free. In your waking dreams, she will haunt you and taunt you. You'll look up high to the sky and wonder, why is this happening to me? But can you see the truth? What you do to me comes back to you. Every dog has its day, and there's a price to pay. I am joy, I am love. Try and hurt me and I rise above. Down below you'll be so sad. Oh, but that looks like a personal problem. I said, don't worry about me. Karma has a fine way of finding wrongdoings. I fear she won't be fair to you, but I don't care. Boy, 'cause you'll never be free. In your waking dreams, she will haunt you and taunt you. You'll look up high to the sky and wonder why, oh, why me? But can you see the truth? What you do to me comes back to you. Every dog has its day, and there's a price to pay. I am joy, I am love. Try and hurt me and I rise above. Down below you'll be so sad, but that looks like a personal problem. About me. Karma has a fine way of finding wrongdoings. I fear she won't be fair to you, but I don't care. 'Cause you'll never be free. In your waking dreams, she will haunt you and taunt you. You'll look up high to the sky and wonder why, oh, why me? But can you see the truth? What you do to me comes back to you. Every dog has its day, and there's a price to pay. I am joy, I am love. Try and hurt me and I rise above. Down below personal problem that looks like a personal problem.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that as a musician, vocalist, writer, do you think that there are boundaries that should be pushed? Because like now I see, and you know, I see a lot of musicians perform every week. And I'm noticing the ones who play it safe are more boring.
Right.
And the ones who stretch out, they keep you kind of compelled and kind of take you somewhere different.
Yeah. I never think about it. I mean, as an audience member, right? Like, there are certain people, and I know you'd agree, there are certain people that you're down to pay the $45 to see. And then others you don't. It's just as simple as that. Me as a performer, I'm never thinking about what will keep the audience captivated besides the performance. I'm not thinking about the audience when I write a story about giving a child up for adoption. You know what I mean? That's Donovan. That was just recently released. I'm not thinking like, will they be so interested in it? No. My interest in pleasing the audience comes after the song's already written. So they like it or they don't. That's their issue. That's not mine. The story's told, I wrote it. So, but I'm never trying to please in terms of writing. I'm trying to please in terms of performance. I want to make sure that when they come and they pay that money, no matter what story is told, they still feel like they escaped at least for a bit, like 50 minutes, you know?
Right.
But I'm not trying to, you know, pander. Boundaries or not. Sometimes for me, I feel my main insecurity, because I went to Berklee College of Music, and I learned just enough of theory to know what I want to hear in the song, so that when I sit at the piano, I can try and find that sound as close as possible. I know how to build a chord. I know how to write a lead sheet. I know how to make it clear for the band. But there is I don't know a lot. So I have to build around that. And over the past 6 years, I've developed a true humility towards it couldn't hurt to learn as much as possible in terms of theory. Who knows what I could have written if I knew a little bit more in terms of theory. So that's my one insecurity I run into, and that's the one thing that I feel could make my tunes sound, pretty similar. Like, I'm really good with a 32 measure song, Through composed, like a Billy Childs tune, I'm not there. So I'm definitely, I'm learning a lot, but in terms of where I'm comfortable in terms of composition, that would probably be my insecurity in making sure that not everything sounds the same. There is that worry that everything might sound the same. But,
Your voice is so unique because it could go in R&B, soul, it could go in jazz, it could go in blues, and it could go into gospel. Which vocal style or what musical style do you feel most comfortable?
Jazz, but I definitely have all of those influences within me. That's black music.
Black American
That's
music.
all within me. So it's never a conscious choice. Sometimes, like you heard me on the jazz train. When I sing a blues, shoot, I sing bluesy, and that's not no conscious decision. That's just where I think the spirit leads. But I also have tunes, again, like Donovan, that was just recently released, where I think it has a lot of folk influences. I love Joni Mitchell. I love Annie Lennox. I love, just those influences. They're just all within me. So they come out in different times. Sometimes I have a really strong, nasally, but hefty, sultry vibrato that makes me think of Nancy when I sing it, you know, or Dinah. Again, not conscious.
I get it. I get it. I get
The
it.
song fits.
How did we get to this place? Because your brother, who I interviewed here on the Pace Report, he's a very well accomplished pianist, and he's playing with some heavyweights.
Yes.
The music run in the family?
Yep, my father, he's a flautist. I think he wanted to vicariously live through us, you know, because he was the one he worked at a water plant in Los Angeles. So, you know, he'd wake up at 5 in the morning, and I think he picked us up from school. There were like a couple decades where he was picking us up from school when he would get off at 4 p.m. And then he would take my brother to this really great school called Colburn. I think now it's a full university, if I'm not mistaken, in LA. But back then it was just an extracurricular. Take my brother there, and he'd have his ensemble classes in jazz. You know, we bought my brother a baby grand. My brother was into classical first, and I remember he wasn't too intrigued with that. And there's this funny joke in our family where my dad was like, if you don't play the piano, I'm going to sell it for a boat. And my father also is a fisherman, loves fishing. And then I don't know the transition of my brother getting into jazz. I just remember after hearing classical music in the household for a few years, I heard jazz every day. And there were tunes I knew before I knew the names of those tunes. Like Celia was always in the household. I was always playing Celia. And I didn't get into vocals until my brother went to Los Angeles County High School for the Arts. And I was like, damn, I think I can sing. And I think I like jazz. I'm not sure. My father gave me Sarah Vaughan's Finest Hour. And my brother gave me Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong, where she's sitting down and he's standing with his trumpet. Can't We Be Friends is on there. And I remember I learned every nuance of those two albums. They're just like embedded in me. And I was like, damn, I think I can do this. I think I can do it. And so my father started taking me to concerts. We were in LA, so my dad would take us to Catalina Jazz Club. Jack's was in Glendale. You know, and Victor had these one-off gigs with other peers of his. And when I wanted to go to Berkeley, my mother, you know, fabulous woman, she's in Detroit now, she was like, business? And my father was the one who was like, nah, we're gonna get her into Berkeley. I didn't get the scholarship Victor got. Victor got a presidential, full ride, full room and board. I got a small scholarship from the 5-week program. So my dad was my champion in like making sure I could go, you know. And that's where I met a lot of my friends that I know in New York now.
Do you recommend Berkeley? Do you recommend these institutions? Because, you know, I find it very strange. 30 years ago, there were no jazz programs.
Yeah.
But now there's this surge. Like Montclair State has, you know, developed they have developed a nice jazz program.
Yeah.
And there's Juilliard. What's your take on jazz education?
I personally hated college. I think what was fun about it was the network. I felt the obligation to do so because my dad was championing me so badly. And my scholarship was small, so I was like, I feel like I owe. I would recommend it because I learned exactly like I said. I learned just enough to write a tune, just a tune at least, make a lead sheet, build a chord. Now, did I miss classes? Would I blame it on my ADHD? I would say so, but that's just to get off scot-free.
That's a long way from home, coming from California to Boston.
Yeah, but if you like jazz, you ain't going no place else except the East Coast. We're going East Coast, you know. So I have mixed feelings. I had a great experience at Berkeley in terms of like what I needed to know. I learned. Do I wish I moved straight to New York and just kind of used the jam sessions and getting your ass kicked on the bandstand at school? Like, I don't know if I would have learned what I learned. You know, I was given a lot of patience too and a lot of experience. Thankfully, I was at Berkeley when there were like cats there. You know, there was Justin Faulkner there, a shit ton of drummers, Kush Abadi, Jonathan Pinson. Wild. There was just a great amount of rhythm section players that were like top notch. Like you wanted to be in the same room with them, and they sounded so good. You wanted to be associated with them in terms of the talent, right? So you gotta learn, and you gotta learn how to count off a tune strongly, and learn how to tell the drummer exactly what you need in the band, any of the musicians, right? So that's what I am thankful for. Yeah, I would say it's a mix. It's a mix. Since I already experienced it and I am where I am now, I can't say I regret it, you know.
Can do what a little moonlight can do. Maybe a drink or two. It can't hurt. Oh, maybe it'll help. Oh, but it's all about the moment. A sip or two and wait a while till that moon comes peeking through. Ooh, 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 ooh. all you gotta do is wait a while. Take a sip or two, wait a while, till that moon comes peeking through. What a little moonlight can do for you.
Name me a vocalist that you saw live that knocked you out.
Cecil McLaurin Savant, Ogress, Rose Theater, Jazz at Lincoln Center. I've never, ever, ever seen someone do a one-woman show that overlaps so many genres, that completely changes your idea of what a jazz band sounds like. I believe she had like banjo and vibes and just gorgeous about this. And I don't know the story, but it resonated with me so much. Of this, it's a female ogre who is a monster of this small town. Have you seen it? I've never cried in a theater like that before.
Wow.
You know, the birds were crying and the trees were sighing. The man is lying, and she's dancing with this man, and she set up an entire story as a one-woman show, and I saw every single aspect of the themes that she set up. I've never seen anyone do that before, and it's ironic too. I don't want to sound biased, but you know, we know each other. I consider her like a very close acquaintance and just one of my heroes, but when I saw that show, I was like, I don't want to be her friend, man. You want to keep somebody on a pedestal. I ain't never seen nobody like that before. That was wild.
You know what's crazy? There have been 5 sisters in the industry right now, and I'm gonna go all genres, that have not only just stuck their neck out and just gone against the grain. I think Rihanna Giddens,
Okay.
Cecile, I think those Knowles sisters. Solange is in a very different lane than Beyonce, but they've stretched. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to.
Chill.
Yeah, they're not. They're not. And then Samara Joy.
Of course.
It's like these sisters have like dedicated themselves to not being the popular against the
And
grain.
you know what? It doesn't even seem like it's like a choice. That's just them. That's what I think is so captivating, is it's not like, I'm gonna be different. Like, that's not the goal. They just are different.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're embracing it too.
And it's wonderful.
Right,
It's
right.
so wild.
I mean, who at almost 40 puts out a country western record? But
Yeah.
yet, Rihanna Giddens is doing American roots music.
Wow.
Both of them, I'm like, this is crazy. But I think the norm now is, let's stay in this box. And I don't think you can grow if you stay in that
Right.
box.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you have to really stretch. You have to stretch and make yourself comfortable with the discomfort, you know? But again, I don't think it's a conscious decision. I think there really is something in the water. Something in the water. Like, I don't think trying to be different is the same as just being different. You know? I don't think they're trying. I think there's something in the water that those queens are.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that it's natural and it's easy.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the goal. That's the goal, is to not really be distracted by what's normal and what's, you know, overcompensating.
Right.
You know?
Right.
The goal is to just be myself and say screw you if you don't like it. That's fine with me. You ain't messing with my bag. So that's the goal. That's going.
When did you fall from the sky? How did I miss your smile, your style? You just walked on by. One look and you changed my life. With just one glance, my world was quickly turned upside down. And oh, but now that you're here, we should get to know each other. A lifetime of love, that's something we can both discover. Believe me, my dear, if I would have known you were here, we would have started this thing long ago. And I can't recall the last time I felt this way. Butterflies, when I look in your eyes, and I won't feel the same now that I know your name. I said, when did you fall from the sky? How did I miss your smile, your style? You walked right on by. One look and you changed my life. With just one glance, my world was quickly turned upside down. And oh, but now that you're here, let's get to know each other. Lifetime of love, that's something we can both discover. Believe me, my dear, if I would have known you were here, we would have. And I can't recall the last time I felt this way. Butterflies, when I look into your pretty eyes, and I won't feel the same now that I know your name.
Next question. Vanisha Gould, what does Black American music mean to you?
I think it means America. I think we are literally the builders of this country. Black American music is America. We did all this. Our culture is embedded in every fabric of what this place is, you know? And it's very easy to see. And easy to feel. Me personally, I don't know my boat stop. You know, you ask me where I'm from, I'll say LA. I don't know where I'm from. I got a white grandma in Mississippi who lives in Detroit, and then I've got family in Alabama, Gary, Indiana, Milwaukee, everywhere, stretched out. People even say, do you miss California? You miss your family there? My family ain't in California. I ain't got no family in California. So I'm stretched out all over America. I am America. And the music I sing, whether it's folk, whether I want to do a blues or a rock album, it's all Black American music. The food we eat, shit. So, yeah. And I have fun with that too, without putting a label on it. I have a lot of fun. I have this tune that's on the new album called New Dance. About not knowing your dance, your tribal dance from where you're from, and how the new dance now started with us shackled, left, right, and the joy I feel of explaining that to my white band members, you know, like this is how you play it, like this is what I'm singing. I think educating people and understanding, like, you are living in Black America. I don't care, poor or rich.
Yeah.
We are the fabric, you know, that built this entire country. No label needed.
That'll do it again for another edition of the Pace Report, reporting live here in downtown Pittsburgh for the 2024 Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival. I'd like to personally thank the incomparable Vanisha Gould for her time, Make sure you support her new record, She's Not Shiny, She's Not Smooth, which will be out this fall. Also, for more information on her concert tours, club dates, or to order her music, visit her online at vanishagould.com, as well as follow her on social media by way of Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'd like to personally thank the incomparable Miss Janice Burley and her staff at the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival for their warm hospitality. Also, I'd like to personally thank Miss Carolyn McClare and Carolyn McClare Public Relations for arranging my time with a lot of these artists this weekend. You guys have been a tremendous help. Thank you. As always, people, I can't stress this more than enough. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos here on YouTube and Vimeo, as well as leave comments. And follow me on social media by way of Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Until next time, remember, if it's in the groove, it'll make you move. Till next time, peace.
Don't worry about me. Karma has a fine way of finding wrongdoings. I fear she won't be fair to you. I don't care. See, you'll never be free. In your waking dreams, she will haunt you and taunt you. You look up high to the sky and wonder, why is this happening to me? But can you see the truth? What you do to me comes back to you. Every dog has its day, and there's a price to pay. I am joy, I am love. Try and hurt me and I rise above. Down below, you'll be so sad. Oh, but that looks like a personal